Saturday, platter day. It's Saturday night and we're having a platter for dinner. Why? Because we don't fucking cook on Saturday nights. We only ever eat a platter. And tonight, we're using this platter. It has lemons on it. You'll see it's a little smaller than usual. This is a platter for one. I'm also making platters for the kids. As always, we start with the cucumber. Now, during my platter day videos, I like to talk about what's been in my TikTok feed. And I'm going to do that tonight. And just as a little reminder, I repost the videos that I talk about in case you want to go and watch them. So let's start strong with the USA versus Australia comparison. You know how you get people who are tourists in Australia and they'll be like, oh, I've been in Sydney for a little while now. I'd like to talk to you about the differences between Australia and USA. So I must have liked one of those videos. So now I'm getting a lot of them. But interestingly, the ones that I'm going to talk about are the ones that are critical, not the ones saying, you know, obvious things that we all know about. But things like, the first one is a woman who was waitressing in America, was waitressing a table of an Australian family. They'd spent $200 US and they didn't leave a tip. Yeah, so she gets on TikTok to have a complain about it, a bit of a whinge. And of course, there's a heavy tipping culture in America, right? Their wages are not adequate, so they rely on tips to sort of, you know, make ends meet. We in Australia don't have that. We're paid, you know, appropriately for the work that we do, and this minimum wage is way higher than it is in the US. So it's just this big whinge about, oh, God, I waited tables on this Australian table. She shows the receipt and they didn't even leave a tip. Now, frankly, even though we don't have tipping culture, I think most of us do tip. If you go to a fancy restaurant, like I went to a fancy restaurant last night, I tipped. Usually, rule of thumb's about 10%, but depending on the service, I'll tip more. However, I appreciate not everybody does that. And there's no requirement and there's no expectation that you do tip. Although I think it's a little strange that this family didn't leave any tip. Anyway, keep in mind it's $200 US. So really it's like, I don't know, 380 or something Australian. Anyway, I need to give the kids some cucumber. Don't forget the kids bit. So the comments, man, everyone, I don't know if they're all Australian, but everyone was going after her saying stuff like, yeah, wiping away my tears with my Medicare card, doing the comparison to how great it is here, and you know, we don't have that tipping culture. He basically coming to the defense of Australia, and that's what you would expect, right? But interestingly as well, another video that I saw was a woman having a whinge. She's in Australia having a whinge about comparisons compared to the US and how some things just don't, you know, meet up to her expectations. An example she gives is that she hates that, you know, Cadbury has such a strong monopoly on the chocolate market here. It's all basically made with milk. Yeah. And she says that she hates that to go to like Woolworths or Coles, to go to a grocery store, you have to go through a mall. You can't just go to the grocery store on its own. You have to go to a mall, which isn't necessarily true, but that must have been where she was. So she has a whinge about that. And there was one more thing that she just really didn't like about Australia. And she was just whinging, right? And the comments again, all the Australians come to the defense of her, like, when are you leaving? You're not welcome here. And yeah, if you're going to talk about comparisons between Australia and US, let's talk about gun control. Let's talk about our Medicare system. Let's talk about how we have fair work, fair pay. Let's talk about our annual leave, right? We get 4 weeks. Some of us get 5 weeks annual leave a year. USA, what do they get? 2 weeks a year? So love, if you're going to do the comparisons, don't do it about petty things. Having said that, she did say in the video, I'm going to be controversial in this video and talk about, you know, stupid things. And everyone really went on the attack in the comments. And then there was another video where a girl was saying, you know, I just had a baby in the US. Let me show you what it cost me to have a baby. And this was shocking. She shows us the receipt, just a normal, ordinary birth, no complications or anything. $51,000. Yeah, $51,000 just to give birth to her child in the US, right? And she said, I do have insurance, but I still had to pay. Now, why I feel this is outrageous, one, because we have an excellent Medicare system, but of course my kids were born 26 weeks premature, and I had private health insurance but couldn't use it because they were born so preemie. I had to go on the public system. And the public system was so good. Do you want to know how much it cost me to have my premature children in the NICU from February until June? So basically 4 months they were in the NICU. Twins, right? 2 babies. Didn't cost me a goddamn thing. Not really. Even the parking that I had to pay to get to the hospital was subsidised because I had babies in the NICU. I could get free parking, whereas normally you have to pay for parking in hospitals. So yeah, that's how, you know, great our system is here. And they were like, I just can't believe it, to have a baby. What if you don't have that sort of money? Who's paying it? really don't understand how it works. Yeah. Anyway, so that was shocking. All right, I've done the strawberries and the cucumber. If you're wondering why I'm doing a platter for one, I've also got these raspberries and everything's washed. Why am I doing a platter for one? Because hubby's got his Dungeons and Dragons thing on tonight with his mates. So they're doing, I don't know, pizza and pies or something. His friend is hosting, not me. So yeah, who knows what he's having. It means I'm just doing a platter for one with all the things I like to eat. I don't know if the kids are going to eat raspberries. I put it in the lunchbox the other day. They didn't eat it. So maybe I'll just keep all the raspberries for myself. Don't worry about it. Okay, I've got these Ritz. Kids love Ritz crackers. We'll give them some cheese. Oh, they're little. They must be mini Ritz. Oh, they're mini Ritz. They're so cute. Okay. Give them some Ritz and these some Ritz. So tonight I'm going to be watching a movie. Not sure. Like, I just love it when I get a night to myself to watch whatever I want to watch. Like, I can watch some girly flicks. That's what I want to watch. Or maybe some true crime, which hubby isn't into. So, yeah, that is great. All right, let me tell you what else I've got in my feed. Let me get the dip. Since this is my platter, I'm having my favourite dip, which is tzatziki. Now, I just pull off the lid and I add a scoop of course, Farmers Union natural yogurt, just to beef it up a bit. I'll put some dried mint, lemon and salt and olive oil in there. Kids just like plain yogurt as their dip. You also like hummus, but I don't have any hummus, so they're just going to have plain yogurt, which they love, and they have that in their lunchbox as well, just plain yogurt as dip. Okay, so let's talk about another story. There was this great humorous TikTok, you may have seen it, where this husband, I'm not sure where he's from, he sounds like he had a South African accent, but I'm not 100% sure. And he has a Nigerian wife, and he said, listen to this. And he says to his wife, I'm trying to go camping this weekend. And then she says, I did not come to this life to suffer. Which I totally get, right? We are not camping, glamping people in my house. So I totally get it. And he's like, why does she have to suffer? I basically do everything anyway. Very, very funny video, but I totally get it. The kids are going to have this sort of cheese, which is Mersey garlic cheese, and I've got the good cheese. Of course, keeping in mind, it's just me. Now, the other story I want to talk about is the stolen Birkin. So this girl gets on TikTok and says, my sister is in Spain, and I think she's at Barcelona. She said it funny. Anyway, so her sister is in Barcelona, and her handbag got stolen, her Birkin. And she's saying, if anyone knows anything about it, she basically tells the story. Her sister, she thinks, was scammed by some con artist in a hotel, and they're up in the rooftop having drinks with some people that she met, an old guy and a woman. And they basically, something happened and she had to go to the bar. I can't remember why. Anyway, she thinks whoever it was in on it, that sort of scammed her. And she left her fucking Birkin with these people, went to the bar for like a minute, came back, Birkin's gone, the people are gone. And of course there's video footage of it. So the hotel gave her the footage of the couple and the woman stealing her fucking Birkin bag, right? So most people in the comments are like, oh my God, like your bag got stolen, but why did she leave her Birkin? And I get it. It was, you can't blame her. She didn't ask for this to happen to her, but it's a very, very expensive handbag. And you'd think that she'd know a little bit in terms of being travel-wise, that people would be onto it and why am I giving myself this cheese? Don't worry about it. That she would have been onto it. Anyway, they had footage of it. They had screenshots. I don't know if she ended up getting it back. Last video I saw was somebody had contacted her and said, yeah, these people are on the wanted list. So the police are aware that they're con artists. They do it to tourists. And is she ever going to see the Birkin? Let's face it, probably not. But yeah, interesting. Okay, let me just fix this situation. Okay, I'm giving myself the good cheese. But the other cheese is actually very nice, so if the kids don't eat it, I'll move it over to my plate. Perfectly fine. Okay, next we're going to get the Twiggy. I'll put some on everyone's plate. These are my favourite olives, Sicilian olives with lemon and garlic. And because I'm going solo tonight, fuck it, man, I got 2 packets and I'm having both. Yeah, kids aren't a big fan of it. So, and they don't like olives that have seeds, so they're all for me. Don't worry about it. I'm going to put some pickles and some crunchy bread, and then we're done. Kids' platters are done. I added some ham. It's done, bitches. And the best thing is, it's all for me. Delicious.